Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. A little break from the rail car because things are setting, and a very quick video on the Rivarossi tram. So a Rivarossi tram, as you saw from the last video I did, the chassis is ready, everything's ready for being reassembled. But there's one problem, that the bow collector is extremely oxidized, and this has to pick up electricity from the overhead. I don't have the overhead, of course. My friend, the owner of the Nicola, the owner of the tram, doesn't have overhead either, but we're going to test this using an aluminium ruler as overhead. But to do that, we have to clean this copper collector bow because it's absolutely extremely oxidized. So I'm using fiberglass pencil. Of course, using fiberglass pencil is always a tricky job. Better keep things clean and work on top of an old piece of disposable paper or cardboard. So I'm just going to go here very gently, work and clean the bow collector like so. Because this is copper and this should be. I'm also trying to not get fiberglass all over the model. It's a very tricky job to get this thing clean. It's also a very delicate piece of material, so you don't want to damage anything. There's little springs and things, and the fiberglass pencil does the best possible job, in my opinion, on such an item. The only problem with the fiberglass pencil is that it wears down very quickly. So this is the problem, and I think we're just going to have to get things dirty. And this tram has been run because there's a kind of notch, a worn out part on the bow collector where it has run in contact with the overhead. The Rivarossi overhead is made of solid core copper, so it's relatively rigid. And let's see how that's getting on. It's coming clean. I really want to give this a good mechanical clean here like this, at least at the beginning with a fiberglass pencil, to get it I've been postponing this job because I don't really like doing things with a fiberglass pencil very much. Wearing plastic gloves, and there's always a risk of this stuff going in your fingers and going all over the place. This is why I've got an old paper tissue box which I've opened up, and I'm using this as a sort of to cover the modelling mat. Right, that looks a bit better, because we have to have a good clean contact here, otherwise electricity won't be conducted through the bow collector, and from the bow collector it won't go down to the contact, which is in there. So that's the whole point, because this tram here picks up only from the overhead and wheels. So both axles are one polarity and the overhead is other polarity. There are other identical Rivarossi trams. I think the green ones, they actually have a switch, and they can either pick up from the wheels or the insulated axles, or else an alternative, one wheel and overhead. Anyway, the overhead's coming nice and clean. That's the point I'll touch. Okay. No, sorry, not the overhead, the bow collector. you can see, look there, I don't know if you can see where it's worn out there, huh? Right there, it's very worn down where it was in contact with the overhead. By doing this, I hope to restore conductivity from my overhead, which is an aluminium ruler. I thought even to make a sort of length of overhead, but I think the best thing to do to test this is to make a support on the rails, one polarity from the rails, another polarity from the overhead, and just make a sort of support for the ruler and connect one polarity to the ruler and one polarity to the rails. And I think that will do the job very, very well. But we'll see. We'll do it in video together. Because working on the, I've dedicated a lot of time to the rail car to get it going, to be able to get close to the finish, and I've been overlooking this. Okay, I think that should do what I have to do. Of course, I'm going to have to clean. I'm going to put contact spray there as well to restore the contact spray down here as well because here's the bolt collector and it goes here. So I'll put contact spray here. I'll clean it out, and I'll also put a spot of technical petroleum jelly there in the hinge where it hinges, so that we really have very, very good conductivity, because this works like a real tram. Okay, that's it for the moment. Small update. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. And I'm getting these horrible latex gloves off, can't stand them, and I'm very carefully gathering up this bit of cardboard and putting it in the bin. Cheerio, and see you next time. Ciao, ciao. Get the gloves off.